What happens when being too good at your job becomes a crime? A North Korean diplomat in Cuba just solved an international maritime crisis alone, without a lawyer, working around the clock. Pyongyang sent commendations. His colleagues applauded. Then they made him the go-to person for every impossible task. While quietly building a corruption network he refused to join. Within months, the same people who praised him blocked. His wife's emergency medical care? This exclusive testimony reveals how North Korea's diplomatic corps operates as a protection racket where success doesn't earn you safety. It marks you for elimination. And how one family's escape from Havana to Bangkok became a race against both countries trying to send them back. For more exclusive testimonies like this, subscribe and become part of our investigative community. Your engagement helps us continue uncovering stories the world needs to hear. The conference room door opened at the North Korean embassy in Havana, Cuba. 2 days since the international shipping incident. Crew members detained. The vessel anchored. Pyongyang demanded daily updates. The ambassador scanned the table. Who will handle this? Silence. No one volunteered. Taking this meant ownership success brought no reward. Failure meant Pyongyang. Everyone stared at their papers. Avoided eye contact. Kim Chol-soo couldn't bear the silence. 15 years at the Foreign Ministry. Studied international law. He knew he was the only one who could handle it. He raised his hand. I'll do it. The ambassador nodded. Other officials exhaled in relief. The meeting ended. From that day, Kim was alone. No lawyer, no support. Negotiations with local authorities, paperwork, reports to Pyongyang all on him. He worked around the clock, lived with the phone. Many nights, he never went home. On the third day, local authorities presented terms. Kim accepted. No room to negotiate. He drafted documents, filed reports to Pyongyang. Approval took 2 days. A week later, the crew was released. The ship departed. Kim organized the final papers, relieved. He thought it was over. Pyongyang sent a commendation. At the full embassy meeting, they called his name. Kim stood and bowed. Applause filled the room. In that moment, he believed the state would protect him. Hard work meant recognition. But after that day, everything shifted. Colleagues started calling on Kim. The next crisis, and the one after they came to him. At first, he felt honored, trusted. Then he understood. This wasn't trust. It was convenience. When colleagues handed Kim their problems, they stayed safe. They dodged responsibility. Kim handled more and more alone. Days later, another incident. A minor issue, but Pyongyang wanted immediate reports. In the conference room, the ambassador summoned Kim. You'll handle this one too. An order. No choice, Kim answered. Understood. And he did it again. Solved the problem. No commendation this time. It had become routine. That's when Kim realized success wasn't protecting him. It was pushing him into a deeper trap. Competence became chains. Now every problem meant Kim. He couldn't refuse. Refusal meant disloyalty. Days later, a junior official came by, 5 years younger than Kim. They'd worked together in Pyongyang. He closed the office door and sat down. Sir, I need a favor. Money. Common overseas. Helping each other was expected. But this felt different. The junior official's eyes weren't the same. Less request, more demand. Kim hesitated. His wife had been unwell lately. Medical bills worried him. His son's tuition loomed. No room to spare. Sorry. Things are tight right now. The junior official's expression didn't change. He nodded and stood. Understood. He left. Kim felt uneasy but soon forgot. After that day, the air changed. Reports took longer to process. At meetings, Kim's input got no response. Necessary documents arrived late. A month passed. The ambassador summoned Kim. A document from Pyongyang. A critique of Kim's work attitude. No specifics. Just exercise caution. Kim was bewildered. He didn't know what he'd done wrong. He asked the ambassador, but got no clear answer. Be careful. Pyongyang's mood these days. That was all. Kim worked harder. Checked documents late into the night to avoid mistakes. Nothing improved. Soon, rumors spread performance. Reviews about Kim were circulating among overseas missions. He didn't know the contents. But they couldn't be good. Colleagues kept their distance. Later, he learned the truth. A junior official was connected to a specific Pyongyang official, building a new power line inside the embassy. Joining that line required money, a kind of membership fee. The moment Kim refused, he became not one of us. Their method was simple: isolate anyone outside the line. File reports to Pyongyang. Spread rumors to other missions. Systematic exclusion. Kim finally understood. This wasn't personal grievance. It was the system. A structure to maintain power. Anyone outside was marked for removal. That night, Kim couldn't sleep. He'd successfully handled the shipping incident. Received a commendation. Served loyally. But none of it mattered anymore. Survival in the system wasn't about performance. It was about relationships. Kim learned this too late. Days later, another document arrived. This one mentioned reassignment review. Kim saw it and felt fear for the first time. Reassignment meant returning to Pyongyang. And Pyongyang meant surveillance and investigation. Terror set in. His neck started hurting. Mild pain at first. He thought it would fade in a few days. But after a week, the pain remained. It worsened. His arm went numb. Lost sensation. He dropped his pen while writing. Pain woke him at night. Daily life became difficult. Kim requested medical support from the embassy. North Korean diplomats couldn't visit local hospitals freely. All external contact was controlled. Hospital visits required embassy approval and reporting. Medical costs came from the embassy. Kim offered to pay out of pocket. "Just let me get examined," he said. It wasn't difficult, just file a report. The answer came quickly. "Not necessary. Rest will cure it." A non-reason? Kim requested again. Explained the severity. Said it affected his work. Denied again. A week later, another staff member got treatment. Just a cold, yet he went to the hospital. Medical costs covered. Kim knew. The embassy was small. Everything was visible. That's when Kim was certain. This wasn't administrative delay. It was deliberate blockade. Someone was isolating him, preventing even medical care. The pain continued. Nightly arm numbness. Couldn't turn his neck. Painkillers didn't help. Kim looked in the mirror and thought, "Stay here and I'll die." Not an exaggeration. Without treatment, his condition would deteriorate beyond repair. That day, Kim realized for the first time the state no longer protected him. 15 years of loyalty. Handled the hard cases. Received commendations. None of it mattered. Pushed out of the power line, he became disposable. Someone who couldn't get treatment even when sick. Days later, Kim secretly obtained painkillers. Through a local contact. Didn't report to the embassy. Discovery could mean trouble, but he had no choice. Then one day, his wife called. Her voice trembled. "Honey, something's wrong. Chest tightness. Difficulty breathing." Kim rushed home. His wife sat on the sofa. Face pale. Cold sweat. Kim helped her up. "We need a hospital." But they couldn't go. Had to report to the embassy. Get approval. But if they'd denied him, his wife had no chance. Kim sat beside his wife that night. Helpless. Nothing he could do. His wife finally slept at dawn. Kim stayed awake. Stared out the window and thought, "Stay here and our family dies." That day, Kim first seriously considered defecting to South Korea. Genuinely, concretely. He could endure, but his family couldn't. Now he had to choose. The next day, his wife couldn't get up. Chest pain persisted. Kim looked at her and decided, no more waiting. He requested medical care from the embassy again. This time for his wife. Possible heart problem. Urgent. 3 days passed. No answer. Kim visited the embassy administrative office daily. The clerk said only under review. A week went by. Still no answer. His wife's condition didn't improve. It worsened. She couldn't eat properly, clutched her chest every night. Kim could only watch. On the 10th day, Kim went directly to the ambassador. Knocked and entered. The ambassador was reviewing documents. Your wife's case. We need Pyongyang's response. Pyongyang's response meant rejection. Passing a matter the embassy could handle to Pyongyang was dodging responsibility. That night, Kim looked at his wife and realized he could endure. The pain, humiliation, isolation. But family was different. If his wife collapsed, if his son fell into danger, he couldn't bear it. Stay here, and family becomes hostages. The thought wouldn't leave. Families of those pushed from power lines weren't protected. They became tools of pressure, holding families hostage to force obedience that was their way. Kim quietly began preparing. No concrete plan yet, but he started exploring possibilities. Was there a way? How could he get his family out? Days later, his passport expired. Kim applied for renewal. Fortunately, approval came quickly. New passport issued. His wife and son's passports renewed too. Kim looked at those passports and thought this might be the last chance. Before being completely pushed out of the power line, before being summoned to Pyongyang, he had to move. But fear gripped him. He knew what failure meant. Repatriation meant labor camps. Family dragged along. He'd seen people vanish that way. That night, Kim asked his wife, "Could we leave?" She said nothing for a long time, then nodded. "At least save our child." Those words decided it. From that day, Kim began planning in earnest. Carefully, without anyone noticing. He searched flights, found routes to third countries. Couldn't go directly from Cuba to Korea. Had to transfer. Kim mapped every possible route. He prepared money. Had some saved. Not much, but enough for tickets. A week passed. Kim made his decision. No more delays. His wife's condition was deteriorating. Pyongyang could issue a summons any time. He set a departure date. Dawn flight. Lightest surveillance window. A choice of no return. He bought the tickets. 6 a.m. flight. Cuba to a third country. Kim sat at the computer and clicked purchase. His hand trembled. 3 tickets. For himself, his wife, and his son. Confirmation email arrived. Kim didn't print it. Left no trace. 1 week until departure. During that week, Kim acted completely normal. Went to work. Processed documents. Attended meetings. No one noticed. Same at home. Didn't pack. Didn't organize. Left everything as it was. To avoid any sign of leaving. 3 days before, Kim told his son, "Let's take a trip." "Pack light," his son nodded. Didn't ask questions. 10 years old, but he read the mood. Kim put just a few clothes in his son's small bag. 2 days before, his wife asked, "Will we really be okay?" Kim couldn't answer. He didn't know if they'd be okay. But one thing was certain. "Better than staying here." She nodded. Asked no more. 1 day before, Kim worked normally at the embassy. Organized files, wrote reports, greeted colleagues, said he'd see them tomorrow. A lie. There was no tomorrow. After work, Kim went home. Had dinner. An ordinary dinner. His son did homework. His wife washed dishes. Kim looked out the window. Havana nights were warm. 15 years he'd lived here. Familiar streets. Familiar people. But he decided not to look back. Attachment might make him waver. 11 p. Ma'am. The family went to bed. But no one slept. Kim stared at the ceiling, checking the time. Midnight passed. 1 a. Came. 3 a. Kim got up. Woke his wife and son. Dressed quietly. Grabbed bags. 3 small bags only. Opened the front door. Didn't look back. Closed it. Left the key inside. Called a taxi. Asked for the airport. The driver didn't question it. Dawn airport runs were common. The car was quiet. His son nestled in his mother's arms. His wife stared out the window. Kim looked straight ahead. The airport appeared. Lights visible. Kim took a deep breath. Now it began. Got out of the taxi. Grabbed bags. Walked into the airport. Headed to check-in. Pulled out his passport. North Korean passport. Handed it to the clerk. The clerk checked it. Printed boarding passes. Gates are that way. Kim nodded. Took the passes. Headed to security screening. So far, smooth. No problems. Kim thought, can we really leave like this? But that was an illusion. The real test waited at the destination. The plane landed at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport. Kim looked out the window. Thailand. 20 hours since leaving Cuba. The family deplaned. Headed to immigration. Long line. Kim waited his turn. The passport in his hand was damp. Sweat. Finally his turn. The officer took the passport. Opened Kim's passport. North Korean. The officer's hand stopped. Checked the computer. Looked at the passport again. Checked his wife's passport. opened his son's. The officer looked up. "Please wait a moment." Walked to the back. Called a supervisor. The supervisor came. Checked all 3 passports. Looked at Kim. "Are you a diplomat?" Kim nodded. Couldn't hide it. His title was printed in the passport. There was no advance notification. The supervisor's voice was cold. Thailand required advance notification for North Korean diplomat entry through diplomatic channels, but Kim had given no notice. Couldn't. The supervisor radioed. Shortly, other staff arrived. Uniformed personnel. "Come this way." The family was separated. Kim to one room, his wife and son to another. Kim tried to protest. Useless. It's procedure. We'll verify soon. The door closed. Kim was alone in a small waiting room. Plastic chair and table only. Time passed. 1 hour, 2 hours. A staff member entered, holding papers. Identity verification required. "If we can't verify, you may be returned to your point of departure." Kim's heart stopped. Point of departure was Cuba. Return to Cuba meant the embassy would find out. Pyongyang would summon him. Then the camps. His family, too. Wife and son dragged along. He'd seen people disappear that way. How long? Don't know. The staff left. Door locked. Kim was alone. Identity verification meant contacting the Cuban embassy or Pyongyang. Then it was over. Kim pulled out his phone. His hand shook. He had a number prepared. The South Korean embassy. Making this call meant no going back. A North Korean diplomat calling the South Korean embassy was betrayal, abandoning his homeland. But no choice. He made the call. Ringing. Once, twice, 3 times. Someone answered. Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Thailand. Kim steadied his voice. Spoke with trembling words. "I'm a North Korean diplomat. I'm at Bangkok airport now. With my family. Facing deportation. Please help." Silence on the other end. Then an answer came. "Tell us your exact location." "We're leaving now." In that moment, Kim felt hope for the first time. Someone was coming to help him. Unbelievable. He gave the location. Hung up. Waited. Time crawled. 30 minutes passed. The door opened. A South Korean diplomat entered. A man in a suit. Thai airport staff with him. The South Korean diplomat looked at Kim and said, "This person is a citizen of the Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea will protect him." One sentence from the South Korean diplomat changed everything. Thai airport staff stepped back. Tension in the room dissolved. Kim never forgot that moment. He learned for the first time what power the words "citizen of the Republic of Korea" held. The South Korean diplomat approached Kim, offered his hand. "You're safe now." Kim accepted the handshake. His hand trembled. The diplomat smiled. "We'll bring your family shortly." Moments later, the door opened. His wife and son entered. His wife's eyes were red and swollen. His son gripped his mother's hand tightly. Kim embraced his family, couldn't speak, just held them. The South Korean diplomat said, "Let's go to the embassy. We'll proceed with formalities there." Kim's family left the airport. Thai staff no longer stopped them. An embassy vehicle waited. They got in. Kim looked out the window. Bangkok streets passed by. An unfamiliar city, but he felt no fear. They arrived at the embassy. The taguki hung in front of the building. Kim looked up at that flag. His heart raced. They went inside. Staff greeted them, brought warm tea. Kim finally relaxed. The ambassador came out, a middle-aged man in a suit, extended his hand to Kim. "Welcome. You've been through so much." Kim bowed. Words wouldn't come. The ambassador said, "You'll go to Korea now. The process may take a few days. We'll keep you safe meanwhile." Days passed. They stayed at the embassy. Staff prepared meals, provided clothes. During those days, Kim thought deeply. Life in Cuba, memories of North Korea, and the future ahead. He felt fear, too. A new country, a new life waiting. He'd heard the competition was fierce. Could he survive? But he looked at his family. His wife slept peacefully. His son was smiling. Seeing them, Kim resolved. Now it begins. A week later, they boarded a flight to Korea. Direct to Incheon. Kim took his seat. The plane took off. Thailand receded. Kim looked out. Flying above clouds. Hours passed. An announcement came. We'll be landing at Incheon International Airport shortly. Kim's heart pounded. His wife squeezed his hand. His son looked out the window. The plane descended. Ground approaching. Runway visible. Landed. Plane stopped. People stood. Grabbed bags. Kim's family stood too. Got off the plane. Incheon Airport. Passed through arrivals. Staff waited. They were guided. Got in a car. Headed somewhere. Kim asked, "Where are we going?" The staff answered, "The North Korean Defector Protection Center. You'll receive adjustment education there." The car kept moving. Korean landscapes passed. Everything was unfamiliar to Kim. They arrived at the center. A large building. A banner hung at the main gate. "We sincerely welcome you to the Republic of Korea." Kim saw those words, and tears came. The long journey was over. A new life had begun. They walked through the center door into a room. Small but clean. A bed, a desk. Kim opened the window. Wind came in. Days passed. They received education. Learned about Korean society. Banks, hospitals, transportation, law. Everything was new. One day, they got permission to go out. Kim went outside with his family. Visited a nearby supermarket. The store was packed with goods. Fruit, vegetables, meat, bread overflowing. Kim stood frozen. "Honey, what do you want to eat?" his wife asked. Kim couldn't answer. Too many choices. At checkout, he used a card. A debit card issued by the center. Swiped the machine. Approved. Fascinating. On the way home, they stopped at a convenience store. Lights on 24 hours. Open even late at night. Kim was amazed. "You can buy any time." His wife smiled. Such ordinary things were miracles to Kim. 3 months passed. They left the center. Got an apartment with government support. A small unit. Kim unpacked and thought, now it really begins. He prepared for employment. Wrote resumes. Interviewed. Rejected. Applied again. Rejected again. It was hard. An elite in North Korea, but here a newcomer. Experience and education weren't recognized. But he didn't give up. Kept trying. On the 6th interview, he got hired. A small company, but he was happy. He received his first paycheck. Checked his bank account. Numbers appeared. Kim looked at those numbers and cried. "I earned this. Money earned freely. Money no one would take." A year passed. His son adjusted to school. Made friends. His wife regained her health. She could get hospital treatment. Kim sometimes wonders, was the choice that night? Leaving the Cuba home, right? The answer is always the same. Yes, his family is smiling. Living freely. That's enough. He misses those left in North Korea. Friends, colleagues, will they meet again if unification comes someday? Kim believes they will. Same people, same language. Until then, Kim will live hard, protecting this freedom. With his family, please remember this story. How precious freedom is. How important family is. Your subscriptions and likes help stories like this reach more people. Thank you.